Hey guys, Arlea here. So in today's video, I wanted to share four things that I learned from going through a divorce process with rheumatoid arthritis. So I ended up, oh, Dudley, the screen is not a scratching post. Thank you. Okay. Sorry about that. So I had separated from my ex-husband earlier this year, about actually the beginning of 2021. We had gotten to a point where we just weren't compatible anymore, and that's totally fine. I think that's something that a lot of people um, don't don't always think about, is that when things happen, sometimes it's for you to grow as an individual. And we were at a point where we us being in a relationship was starting to stunt my growth and his. Okay. So I ended up going kind of unexpectedly, because it's a process when you initially go and decide to separate. There's a lot to emotionally take in there. And so one of the things that I was afraid of, again, like thoughts in the box, was that my rheumatoid arthritis was actually going to get worse, and that my fibromyalgia was going to get worse. And one of the things that I learned was that when you start to let go of situations that don't empower you to be your full self, and you um, start to let stressful situations and things go, I found I wasn't holding on to as much pain. So I actually started to bounce back very quickly when I separated from my ex-husband all those months ago. And it's not that he's a bad person, because he's not. He's a wonderful person. Everyone is just really different. And I think where the confusion comes in is that sometimes you find someone and you think that they're supposed to be in your life for a lifetime. Sometimes you get into a relationship with someone and you think in your mind that it is a lifetime soulmate partnership. And we were soulmates, but we were temporary soulmates. That was a hard pill to swallow. I had to go and clear a bunch of stuff in my own mind, really. So that's the second thing too, is, when that sort of thing happens, what is it trying to teach you? So for me, I was stuck in my head for a bit. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, did I choose the wrong person? I'm like, there's no way I chose the wrong person. Like, what happened? Like, did I do something wrong? No, I didn't do something wrong. Because I'm like, this is really aligning with my soul here. Like, this is what I need. And what I ended up learning was that, you know, I was starting to restrict and adjust parts of who I am at my core, like spiritually, what aligned with me, to stay with a person. And that's a big no for two reasons. One, you're suffocating your own spirit when you do that. Two, you are giving that other person, you're not giving them your best self. If you are not fully like living your authentic self, and you are not fully expressing yourself, and you don't feel free to do that, and there are major clashes in areas that you've tried to work through for a long period of time, and it's just not working because it is a clash in like expressions or values or things like that, you're doing the other person a disservice by staying, because you are not giving them your best self, and they deserve to have a partner who's their best self, just like you deserve to have a partner that makes you feel like you can be your best self. You know what I'm saying? So I learned that, I learned a lot of learning lessons, and I had started to learn to look at the whole situation as, okay, what did I learn from this? What is this trying to teach me? You know what I'm saying? It does no good to go and just hold on to what was or what you think could have been. Because let me tell you, when you do that, you're storing that into your body. And I think you have enough emotional and physical pain stored in your body with rheumatoid arthritis already. You don't need to add on to that. You got enough that's there as it is and enough that's trying to come out. Okay. So that's the second thing that I learned was that, you know, what is this trying to teach me? And since then, I've started looking at any obstacle that I've gone through, like, okay, what is this trying to teach me? What do I choose to learn from this? Okay. The third thing that divorce with rheumatoid arthritis had taught me was that, man, you'd be surprised how tight of a box you place yourself into when it comes to your mind and you're trying to hold on to stuff. You'd be surprised how much extra suffering and extra pain you are giving yourself based on what you focus on and how you respond to different situations. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could have easily looked at this entire situation with divorce like, oh my gosh, why is this happening to me? What have I done? Like, or it's the other person's fault. Like, they were being XYZ. Like, I could have done all that finger pointing. I could have done all of that finger pointing. Would that make me feel better? No. Would that store the divorce, like all of the energy and the feelings inside a very painful body already? Yeah. You know, I learned that it really does no good to go and point the finger. And one of the things that I had to swallow too years ago, but it popped up again. When you go and point the finger at someone or something else, guess how many fingers are pointing right back at you? I'm just saying, you know, and it's not that you just completely go and take all the responsibility for what happened in a relationship. I find though that relationships, especially when it comes to having a chronic illness, when they end, it's a really good opportunity for you to look at what's going on internally in here that like you are still holding on to in that box that's called a mind that you don't want to hold on to anymore. What are you learning for the next relationship? Are you going to choose to learn, oh, okay, so these are the different things that I would like to see differently in the next relationship? Or are you looking at it like, okay, all people in that group are they're just jerks. There aren't any good guys or there aren't any good girls out in the world. You know, I'm just going to stay alone. You see the difference in energy and the difference in your beliefs and how you would respond when you do meet that next person. You know, if you're carrying that sort of energy, you wouldn't want to go and be around someone with that kind of negative energy. You think anybody else is any different, you know? So, that was the third thing that I learned was what the response to a situation is more important. And then the fourth thing is that a circumstance is not, it does not have to be like your fate or your destiny. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was obviously a very painful time for us both. You know, we did not go into a relationship with each other like, man, I can't wait to go and get out of this relationship. You know, like no one goes into a relationship expecting or thinking like, yeah, I'm going to go and break up with this person or I'm going to go and divorce, you know. And not everyone goes in there, you know, like expecting different things to pop up. Like when we first started dating, I didn't have rheumatoid arthritis. I didn't have any physical ailments, you know, but what do you want to learn from these situations for next time? You know, what do you want to take with you into the next relationship? Because if you're focused on the other person, or if you're focused on, oh my gosh, what am I going to do about my chronic illness? And oh my gosh, like, why is all of this happening? You're going to take that same thing into the next relationship. And if you look at things, sorry, my cat is like really wanting my attention right now. Hello. And if you look at things like they're never going to change, then you're right. They're never going to change because you're not going to do anything different. You're not going to look at anything different. You're just going to change the supporting role characters with the same tragedy. There we go. I like that. So I guess long story short, where you are right now, wherever you're at with your pain, your relationships, your rheumatoid arthritis, whatever, that does not have to be where you stay. And the first step really comes with, looking within. That is going to be the first step to anything changing. Otherwise, you're going to keep attracting the very thing that you don't want. So I hope that this was helpful, and I will see you guys in the next video.